It's Monday, May 11th, 30 minutes before tip-off of Cavs-Pistons Game 4. Here with Lane Dobbs. Lane, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, PJ?
I don't know. I'm a little bit disappointed. I feel like the second round hasn't been as fun as I was expecting outside of one series. We've had 3 really mediocre series so far, and I feel like the playoffs as a whole haven't been as fun as I was hoping for.
Yeah, Lakers Thunder is really carrying us, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, it's the gift that keeps on giving every game. I'm so excited to watch another DeAndre Ayton disaster class.
He is a current terrorist in LA. There is a terrorist watch on DeAndre Ayton.
So I guess let's start with probably, if your team wasn't playing in the playoffs, or even if your team was playing in the playoffs, the thing that everybody had kind of been looking forward to for a month and a half. The NBA draft lottery happened yesterday. Any quick thoughts on the Wizards getting the top overall pick?
Yeah, go Washington. I mean, I think they are pretty due. They're pretty due on a pick. This has been a pretty pathetic franchise for a while now. And I mean, I don't even know if there's really a debate anymore. I think Debinsta's the clear number one. I'm interested to see if the Jazz try to trade up to get him, since that's clearly the guy they've been he's like their prophet. He's the prophet of Utah. Like, they've been waiting for this guy. So I imagine they'll try to do some weird trade to get up to number one. But I mean, regardless, obviously the talk behind this draft has been whoever you get in the top 5, we don't know. Outside of Boozer, like, we don't know what they're going to really be. Like, Boozer's the only guy that everybody seems to agree there's a clear ceiling on. Like, he's not going to be like a transcendent star, but like everybody else in this draft, I don't know what Debinsta's going to turn out to be. I don't know what Peterson's going to turn out to be. I don't know what Acuff's going to turn out to be. Like, any of these guys could be generational.
Yeah, I think the point you made, first of all, just going back to Washington, I mean, this is the first time they've had the number 1 overall pick since 2010 when they got John Wall. It's a franchise that really, since the John Wall trade in 2020, after that season with Westbrook and Beal, this is a team that's been relevant. And even before them, when they had Wall and had Beal, they were not a threat ever to win the East. They were like this frisky team that you maybe didn't want to see as an underdog. So this is good. This gets them out of NBA purgatory. And now they can really go full in on this next generation. They already have a couple guys who I feel like are budding all-stars, Johnson and Sarr. They also have a couple guys who are just there for the moment with Davis and Young. I feel like neither one of those guys are in their 5-year outlook. They're both they took on both those contracts and eventually they'll move them out. Actually, expect both of them to be gone probably by the All-Star break. So overall, Washington, you should feel great about it. Utah, too, like you were talking about, they're probably slightly disappointed because they think AJ's going to go 1. But there's already been...
AJ didn't look too happy himself. I mean, he clearly doesn't want to go to Washington. Did you see him on the lottery?
Yeah, which I remember a couple months ago when they asked Caleb Wilson about how would you feel becoming a Wizard, and he just chuckled at it.
Yeah.
So not too many guys want to go there, which, I mean, what has that organization showed you? Like I said, over the past half decade plus, that makes you feel confident about taking your talents there.
Yeah.
But there's already been, I don't know if any of these rumors have substance, but there's already been some kind of smoke thrown out there that Washington would be comfortable trading out of that top spot, especially with Utah, because if Utah's going to be willing to give up, say, Ace Bailey and the number 2 overall pick to get 1, I think that's a deal you do 100 times out of 100 if you're Washington.
Oh, yeah. 100%. I mean, like I said already, any of these like guys that are going to go top 4 are going to be amazing prospects. And so if you can get any one of them plus then Ace Bailey, who I think is going to pan out to be a really solid player, that's just an overall win.
Yeah, let's talk some winners and some losers. I have 4 teams written down, 2 winners, 2 losers. What do you want first, winners or losers?
Let's go ahead and go with winners. Let's start on the high side.
Okay, so obviously anybody inside the top 4 is a huge winner. This is a 4-player draft, maybe a 5-player draft if you're big on Acuff. I am. But really 4 like franchise-altering talents. And I feel like Chicago has to feel like a winner. Talking about NBA purgatory with the Wizards, this is the team that's the definition of that. They haven't been bad enough to find themselves given great top 4 odds these last few years, but they haven't been good enough to really sniff the playoffs. So this puts them in a great spot to take my favorite guy in this class, Caleb Wilson, and he's going to become a Chicago Bull, which is just, it's incredible, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
I
agree.
Caleb Wilson as a Chicago Bull, the heir to Jordan. Baby Giannis, the heir to Jordan.
I like the layout, you know, going from UNC to the Bulls. I just can't see. I cannot visualize Caleb Wilson in a Chicago Bulls jersey. It just doesn't feel right.
Well, I mean, I saw somebody say this about a Wizards jersey. Like, you put anybody in a Wizards jersey, it just doesn't look good. The Bulls is like similar, but there's still some guys that could pull that off.
You know what I see, PJ? I see Caleb Wilson in a Memphis Grizzlies jersey. That's what I see.
I am worried about that because, I mean, selfishly, you know, as we know, this show takes place in Chicago, the Practice Squad podcast.
Yeah.
And so when we go to the United Center, we want to see, personally, I want to see Caleb Wilson over Cam Boozer.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked, honestly, the closer we get to draft day, if like Wilson shoots up a lot of teams' boards.
Yeah.
Like if he's looked at, I don't know about one, but maybe. I mean, he's the most athletic guy in this class. And look at his size. I mean, he's more athletic than AJ, but he's bigger. He can't shoot as well as AJ, but it's not like AJ's a great shooter right now either.
Yeah.
And he's giving you way better defense. So I don't know. I don't know if Washington would do this, but maybe if another team in that top 6 range is willing to, you know, put together a big offer and move up and get Wilson. I don't know. I wouldn't hate that for whoever did that.
Yeah. All right. Hard question for you as a longtime Chicago Bulls fan.
Yes.
What are you doing when your worst nightmare comes true and the Oklahoma City Thunder send AJ Mitchell and I don't even know what else they'd send. Let's say a pick, and maybe they even give you Lou Dort. You can get Lugens Dort, and they
on
take
the Bulls.
Yeah.
Now listen, we'll talk about AJ Mitchell more here in a little bit, but everybody kind of sees the writing on the wall for him. I mean, this is Jalen Brunson 2.0. I mean, this guy's going to get his own team, and he's going to be an all-star.
Yeah.
So that part, that'd be cool. Dort, I would love to have him on the Chiefs. You know, we need some linebackers, so we can throw him out there, and he can take. I don't know. He can take. Whose minutes could he take on that team that I'm just tired of seeing out there? He could take Karlaftis minutes.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with that. He can get his reps. So, yeah, Chicago, obvious winner. The second winner, because this team, there was like an 80% chance they weren't going to have a pick at all.
Yeah.
The LA Clippers. Like, thank God, if you're a Clippers fan, that they ended up with a pick, because obviously we knew their pick was going to Oklahoma City, as they're still paying their dues. You know, they're going to be paying their dues forever. I think that for an already cursed franchise, that just put the nail in the coffin. Like, that team is never allowed to be good again.
So who do you think, my question for you is, who do you think they're going to go with for the 5th pick? Because obviously, like, let's just assume the 1 through 4, I think we all know are like locked down, and whatever order you want to put it in, Dibinsta, Peterson, Wilson, and Boozer. But then you go to the 5th spot, and it's like, who do you think they're going to take? Because I could see Wagler, but I could also see Flemings.
I could see Acuff.
Oh my gosh, I somehow skipped over Acuff.
But I mean, any of those are going to be the next 3 guys that all go, and they're very different. Out of those 3, I am Acuff, Wagler, Flemings. But if you're the Clippers, I feel like the Clippers, because of his size, would lean Wagler.
Yeah.
Just, to me, he's Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
Like, that's his comp at the next level. So I feel like the Clippers, they're in a good spot. Like, I feel like you draft, a team like the Clippers isn't going to necessarily draft for need. They're going to draft for best player available. Yeah. So, you know, Fleming's a little bit on the smaller side, but he's arguably the best shooter in the class. Wagler, the frame you probably want in an NBA player, but just all of the on-ball skills and talent you could ever want. And then Acuff is a little bit like Anthony Edwards to me, where like if he hits, like this is a franchise cornerstone.
Yeah.
But he's under 6'3". He doesn't play defense. There's a chance he's like Trae Young, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. There, I would lean Wagler for them. That's what I think they'll go. Who do you think they'll go with? Or are they a team maybe that I don't know if the Clippers would feel comfortable putting together a big package, but like Maybe they look at who would be ahead of them: Chicago, Memphis, Utah, and Washington. None of those teams really feel like win now teams, but maybe you throw the 5th pick in Kawhi and try to move up and get one of those 4 guys.
Yeah, I don't know. I know I mentioned that to you earlier about the Thunder, but honestly, I don't think anybody probably trades out of the top 4. And like we might see the Washington Utah 1-2 swap, but I don't think any of the top 4 are going to give up a pick just because these are like cornerstone, like you said, like franchise cornerstone players. Yeah, I don't see LA trading up at all, and I highly doubt that they would want to trade out, but I don't know. Who knows what packages we're going to be seeing sent for a higher pick.
I think there's a chance. I don't think anybody would move out of like the top 6. I do think there's a chance for somebody, if they got a good enough offer, to move from like Washington would move from like 1 to 6 or 1 to 5. I don't think Utah would, because I think they're really big on trying to get Peterson, because they've been looking at this for years. I mean, they moved him to prep school in Utah. Yeah. Wait, who did I say?
You said Peterson. I was confused for a second.
Yeah, AJ. They moved him from Massachusetts to prep school in Utah. He went to BYU. Like, this has been obviously their plan for years now. So I don't think they would move, but I think there's some potential for trades in the top 6-ish. Like, this isn't a draft. The NBA and NFL draft are so different, because a team with the first overall pick in the NFL draft wouldn't feel terrible about trading down to the 10th pick, because there's always value in the NFL draft. The NBA draft, after picks like 6, usually it's just like, I mean, you're blindfolded pretty much. None of these guys you can really get a read on. Most of them will end up being just rotational pieces at best.
Yeah.
So this draft feels a little bit different, where this feels like one of the deepest drafts, like 1 through 12 we've had maybe ever. On the loser side, I think there's 2 clear teams who were banking on trying to get a top 4 pick. They were both terrible last year, and they both ended up not in the top 4. That would be Sacramento and Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And it feels absolutely terrible if you're a fan of either one of those teams.
You're missing another insane loser.
Who would that be?
Maybe the biggest loser of all, Indiana.
Well, Indiana, I don't think it counts as a loser. They threw this year away because Halliburton wasn't there.
I mean, yeah. I guess that's true. They do have like an actual roster to fall back on. I just know they were.
They're in the East.
Yeah, that's fair.
So Indiana, I think most people weren't going to feel terrible for them if they lost their pick, because it's like, hey, you just went to the finals a year ago. You're going to get one of the 12, 13, 14 best players back next year, and you're probably going to be able to make a couple moves in the offseason that get you right back in contention.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, the teams in the top 4 desperately needed to be in the top 4.
Yeah, where does Brooklyn go from here?
Right, where does Brooklyn go? Where does Sacramento go?
It'll be fun to see. Like, I would love to selfishly see Acuff on the Nets, and just they let him pretty much run. It'd be like essentially what Dallas is doing with Flag. Like, you just pretty much let him do whatever he wants all season long.
I would love to see that. But for Acuff's career, I don't know if I really want to see him go to Brooklyn.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, you're looking at the 5, 6, 7. Brooklyn, like we've talked about in the past, is just kind of like this place that seems to be like a buy-sell trade in the NBA. It's like an NBA garage sale. And then Sacramento is just, I don't know what they're doing as a franchise. And the Clippers put together good teams, but for some reason they're never able to follow through. I don't even know what Kawhi's future is looking like at this point. I don't know what this team's going to look like even if they get a good player in this draft.
Yeah, honestly, I think Kawhi's gone this summer. I think the Clippers have to commit to the next generation, because maybe for the next 5 years, they're just going to be in purgatory. But if you can sell high on Kawhi right now, where he just had maybe his best offensive season ever. And so if you can get something back in return for him now, instead of let him walk for free in free agency, you already have no draft capital, I kind of see that being their move. Because, I mean, the Clippers have been good this is the longest stretch of positive season endings for the Clippers, probably in their franchise history. I mean, they haven't been bad since they first traded for CP3. So this is almost 2 decades straight of good performances. And so now it kind of feels like maybe now you go into a little 2-3 year rebuild, maybe try to pull off, ironically, what you allowed the Oklahoma City Thunder to do, where they sold high on Paul George, got this huge return, and built a dynasty within 5 years, or a potential dynasty. So yeah, the Clippers don't really have an outlook, but now they, luckily for them, get the 5th overall pick. Sacramento and Brooklyn are just going to be, and Brooklyn doesn't have their 1st overall pick next year either.
Oh.
So these last 2 drafts have been pretty big for them. I mean, 5 first-round picks a year ago, and none of them flashed any star potential whatsoever. It has to be a record of some sort.
Yeah, that's devastating.
And then this year to fall to 6 is pretty backbreaking. Speaking of backbreaking, I think it's time to talk about the hottest team in the National Basketball Association, the New York Knickerbockers. Is it time? Is it finally time for this team to win it all?
If now isn't the time, then there's never going to be a fucking time for the Knicks.
I agree with you.
I don't know.
This is the year.
I guess the Spike Lee, Timmy C combo is what they've been missing this whole time.
It is. It's all coming together.
Yeah, it really is. They honestly just look like a cohesive unit, I feel like, for the first time in this whole tenure that this team has had together. I mean, you've got Cat out here actually dishing out real assists. And it doesn't help that the 76ers just, I don't know, they seem to disassemble themselves. And obviously with Embiid in and out, it was a little confusing for them to try and have a full game plan. But yeah, they ended the series on a high note for sure.
I think they were emotional. I know it's the playoffs and there's ups and downs and everybody has to fight through injuries and push through adversity. But I really think it was so important for this franchise, but especially Embiid personally, that they beat Boston, that they put everything they had into that 3-1 comeback, and they had nothing left for this series. So just going back to let's go back to game 4 against Atlanta. They were down 2-1. They win that game by 16 points. Game 5, they won by 29. In game 6, they won. That was very similar to the way they closed out this Sixer series. They win that one by 51. Game 1 against Philly, they win by 39. Game 2 was the closest by far of the series. They win by 6. Game 3, they win by 14. And then last night, they win by 30 points. Not only are they winning, they're just completely killing teams from the jump. And the way the ball is moving right now, it's the extra passes you see on a lot of these possessions where a guy will have a good look for 3, but a defender will be closing out, and he's taking that extra pass to the corner to get an even better look for 3. And they're making all of their shots right now. And I genuinely don't know. Of course, if they were matched up against San Antonio or Oklahoma City or probably even Minnesota, I would pick the winner of the West to beat them. But it's definitely starting to look like they are in that upper tier with Oklahoma City right now. Yeah. Which is something you couldn't say last year, you couldn't say the year before. And I feel like Knicks fans feel way different about this team this time around. It doesn't feel like they're moments away from falling apart. Whereas, that's how it felt last year I remember against Indiana when they would go on these long stretches where they couldn't hit a shot and everything was falling apart. And Cat would kind of crumble in these high leverage moments. And it seemed like Brunson was the only one stepping up. This year, everyone's clicking at the right time. And like you said, if it's not now, when is it going to be?
Yeah. I would agree. A lot of their success can be attributed to just the fact that the ball movement has been so great lately. Everybody on the team is getting touches. And on top of what you were saying earlier about how they are kind of at that level, they feel like they're entering that same level as OKC. I feel like part of what gives them that feeling is that their bench isn't as good as OKC's, but Landry Shamet is coming off the bench and playing some of his best, the best minutes of his career. Mitchell Robinson's coming in and he's giving you solid minutes as a backup starter, or a backup center. They have guys off the bench who are ready to come in and who are ready to play. Whereas you look over at Philadelphia and it's Quentin Grimes is coming off the bench and he's giving them absolutely nothing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that was something we knew going in, was that Philadelphia had no bench supporting cast whatsoever. And so I'm not shocked by the way the series went. The Knicks winning in 4 isn't shocking, but it's the way that 3 of those games felt like Philly couldn't breathe in. And especially the closeout game and the opening game were just the Knicks are setting the tone immediately, which isn't something you could say about this franchise for the last, 3 years they've been putting this run together with Brunson as the centerpiece, it always felt like they're winning games, but these games are closer than they should be. Whereas now it's like they're just in a mode right now that we're not seeing anybody else in. Even Oklahoma City, for as good as they've looked against the Lakers have made so many mistakes late in these games that have allowed OKC to just kind of stretch the lead and make it look maybe not as close as it actually was, whereas the Knicks just kill you from the tip.
Yeah, that's been a common theme of the Lakers OKC series. I love going on like TikTok after the game, like the next morning, and you can tell exactly who watched the game and who didn't, because the first thing I'll see is like, oh, it was a 20-point win. Oh, what a blowout. But it's like, if you actually watch the game, the Lakers are completely in it most of the time until either the end, like towards the end of the third, or the beginning once the fourth starts. And then after that, like you said, OKC just kind of takes off with it. And part of that is, like I was talking about with the Knicks, I mean, the Lakers don't really have a reliable bench. They hardly have reliable starters to put out there. And so OKC's bench squad comes out, and AJ Mitchell is playing just as good as Shea, just as good as Chet. Like, he's playing just as valuable minutes, and the Lakers just don't have anything to keep up with that.
Yeah, before we get to the Lakers, let's talk about the best series by far we have, which is Minnesota-San Antonio. So Minnesota comes away with Game 4 last night, 2-2 series going back to San Antonio tomorrow. The big story, though, Wemby's ejection. Do we know when, like, the league is expected to make a decision?
I'm pretty sure I thought they already made one. I thought they said it was just the one game. They just ejected him from that, and he's back. Okay. That's it.
I mean, that's good. I wouldn't want him.
I could be wrong. Let me fact check myself just to make sure. I know I saw that earlier, but for all I know, maybe I saw a fake news post or something.
Let's see. Like I said, I hope.
Yeah,
this isn't something I feel like.
We'll play Game 5.
Okay. And I'm sure, unless it's already been announced yet, he's going to have probably a pretty hefty fine coming for him.
But he makes millions of dollars. He'll be fine.
Yeah, that's the big story of Game 4. I think he had 4 or 6 points when he left.
Points. I mean,
he struggled offensively in this series.
He had almost as many fouls as he had points when he got ejected.
Game 3 was his huge offensive game. I think he had 37-ish in that game. Like, he completely dominated Game 3, but for the most part, Gobert has just completely held him in check, which is the big matchup that the series kind of was going to hinge on, is like Rudy being the defensive anchor against the greatest inside threat in the game.
Yeah, Gobert has definitely been suffocating him on defense, which, I mean, that's obviously his specialty. We know Gobert is a great defensive player, but like we talked about, I think the first time we talked about this series, it really comes down to the guards, all the other players, and what they're able to accomplish. And honestly, if Wemby's in that game last night, if he doesn't get ejected, I think the Spurs win, because, I mean, you have Harper coming off the bench, and he's playing like the other guards on the team, Castle and Fox, are playing like almost an extra quarter compared to what he's playing, and he's coming in scoring nearly as much as they are. He's having just like crazy efficiency games. Like, every time I'm watching him with the ball in his hands and he's looking to score, I don't think there's any way that he doesn't either get an easy layup or go to the line. Like, he is showing so much potential for this team at such a young age. It's actually insane.
Yeah, he very much plays like a seasoned vet, which, I mean, a lot of people said going into the draft, like, he was maybe not, it's hard to say he was the best guy in that class.
Yeah.
Because I think there was like an all-time generational talent at the top.
Yeah, but he's the clear number 2.
Yeah, and he would have gotten one, the year before, like, very handily.
Yeah.
And he would have had a chance to go 1 this year. So
yeah, it's crazy, because if you don't watch Spurs games in the regular season and you're looking at like the rookie ladder and stuff like that, you're like, oh, you don't even think about Harper. But it's because, you do a little bit of research and you realize, oh, this dude's got 2 great guards playing ahead of him. Even though, like we talked about earlier, honestly, like, as much as I love Castle, I think if you switch the 2 out, you're getting the same result, if not a better result.
I wonder at what point, and obviously it's very contract dependent because you're going to have to get somebody to take this, and we talked about this already, but at what point are they going to have enough of kind of Fox being the stoppage between Harper getting the reps he needs? At what point are they going to cut their losses and ship him out and just go in on Harper as the point guard?
I think it comes as soon as possible. I mean, I think that's what the playoffs have really showed them, is because the thing is, like, you didn't know. They draft Harper. everybody knows he's going to be good, but you don't know what
Yeah.
you're getting from him. And Fox, like you said, is just supposed to be there. I mean, I think they expected quite a bit from him as he is like a great player, but I think he's there more so to be the guide to Castle, the guide to Harper. And yeah, now we get into the playoffs and it's clear that he's the worst of the three. So I think they just try to ship him out as soon as they possibly can. And it just depends on what that entails. Cause yeah, I bet this offseason, the first team that is offering a trade for him, if it sounds good to them, I guarantee they'll take it.
So this series, a lot of Minnesota series the last 3 years have shown this, but especially this year, Minnesota needs a second scoring option that they can consistently go to. Because when Ant, obviously 90% of the time Ant can get it going, but that 10% of the time, like right now when he's hurt and definitely hobbled, they need a guy who can at least be a confident ball handler, who can get downhill, who can create his own shot and shots for others. Because last night late in that game, I mean, they struggled to kind of initiate offense when he wasn't the one holding on to it. And he's gassed because he's on the minutes restriction. And so they're trying to not force him to have the ball in his hands every single possession.
Yeah, poor Ant's going over to did you see him going over to going into the tunnel to get oxygen?
Yeah. I mean, that's expected. The guy is rushing back. You know, if this was the regular season thing, they would have shut him down for probably a month. So next year, looking forward, who knows? They could still win the title this year and all that. But to get better, to ascend to like a true top tier, to cement yourself, I think, alongside Oklahoma City and San Antonio for the next 5 years, they need that second guy that they can consistently go to.
Yeah. I wonder what that looks like, though, like developmentally wise, because you've got Dosunmu who's just now coming in and he's shown flashes of he could be a great second scorer. And then also Shannon, since Shannon's had to step up, he's been playing not like phenomenal or anything, but he's been playing, I think, better than they anticipated. So part of that just comes with how much you're willing to see some of these guys develop. But yeah, I mean, this is like not the kind of player you were describing, but obviously we know they were trying to make a last second push to be like tough contenders for Giannis. They were trying to clear out some salary. So I don't know.
I think that would be a perfect fit, depending on what you have to give up to Milwaukee.
I mean, I think as long as you're not giving up, your entire roster, I think I'd take that deal. Imagine Ant and Giannis on a team together like that. I feel like that's an instant championship right there.
I do feel like Milwaukee would want Jaden back in the trade. I'm trying my hardest, whatever the Wolves do this summer. I have to keep McDaniels.
Yeah.
Like that has to be from the jump. I make that clear. I need him, Gobert, and Ant as my three that are coming back next season. Everybody else is up for grabs. Even Nas, as much as Nas does for this team, as great as he is, he should be more on the table than McDaniels is.
Yeah. I definitely think, I mean, if you don't give up McDaniels, I think you have to give up Reed. You probably have to give up Randall.
Which I think a lot of fans are ready to see Randall go.
I mean, he's been great for them, coming from New York where he was extremely streaky. I think he did, at least for me personally, he did a lot more for Minnesota than I thought he was going to be able to do. I didn't really understand them grabbing him at the time, but he seemed to do all right for them. But yeah, I definitely think they'd rather keep Jaden than keep Julius Randle.
I think so. You want to talk Lakers Thunder or Cleveland Detroit? Cleveland Detroit, there's not much there. I still feel like it's easily the most. It feels like it's going to go 7 because every team's just going to take the home games.
I don't think it goes 7. I think Detroit's got it in 6. I'll say that.
Detroit's the better team. I just feel like both these teams are waiting in line to get beat by the Knicks.
Yeah, it really makes me sad. I mean, Cleveland I have no remorse for. They've just been playing like dog shit. Detroit, Tobias Harris at his age is overachieving. Like we thought he was done. We've talked about this already. We didn't think his career was going to extend much further. I thought he was going to be just a bum for the rest of his career. And Cade is obviously putting this team on his back. I want to see them succeed so bad, but Jalen Duren is pissing me off in these playoffs.
That's what I wrote down. I said Cade needs help is kind of my takeaway from this series. And I think even Duren at his best, if he was as good as he was in the regular season, I would still feel like they need a a second wing option. But like I said, of course, every team wants that. Every team wants a secondary wing scorer. But that is the part with this team that's missing. And I feel like Duren at this level on the team last year is kind of the peak of what this team can be as currently constructed when they had Beasley leading the league in threes.
Yeah.
And then obviously we know what happened with him and why he's not on the team this year.
Yeah.
But I feel like them and Minnesota are really in similar positions where they're just like, they're a number 2 away from putting themselves in that top group of contenders, whereas Cleveland just needs to blow it all up.
Yeah.
I don't think we can go into 2027 with this Cavs roster looking the same.
I mean, the Cavs, like, it might honestly just be, as crazy as this sounds, just because of the you look at the roster and it's just a bunch of big names on there. But I mean, it might be time to just rebuild, because you can't, like, Harden. I don't want to keep Harden. If I'm the Cavs, if I'm the front office of the Cavs, I don't want to keep Harden. I don't want to keep Mobley. I'm a little concerned with Mitchell, with how he performed in the playoffs. He had some solid games. His last game was really good.
I'm severely concerned with him.
Yeah, but like I just don't trust anybody on this team. Like they just need a full reset, which sucks for them, because like you put a lot of time, you put a lot of money into this team, and it's, where has that gotten you? I mean, I didn't really understand the Harden trade when it happened. I get it was supposed to be a win now move, but like we talked about, it's James Harden.
Didn't make sense at the time. Doesn't make sense now. They felt like, I guess they looked around at the East and they kind of felt, because they made the trade before Tatum was back, they felt like it was really wide open. They went out, grabbed him. I think this all comes down on Mitchell, though, because if Mitchell could just be more of a consistent half-court producer, if he could get out of his own way. I mean, Donovan Mitchell is his greatest enemy. Like, too many possessions.
As much as I agree with what you're saying, but I might say that Donovan Mitchell's biggest enemy is his teammates, because like, okay, let's say he could dribble the ball, he passes it to Evan Mobley, and Evan Mobley's not going to do shit with it.
Well, they're not used to getting the ball because, Donovan has it for 23 and a half seconds every possession. And then you bring in James Harden, who's known for doing the exact same thing. And it's not like either one of them are going to step up for you much on the defensive side. So
no, that's fair. That's fair.
Poor roster construction. This is a team that was probably like a true point guard, a pure point away from, contention. If instead of Harden, they went out and got a guy who could just facilitate for them to take the ball out of Mitchell's hands in the half court, I feel like we would look at this team a lot different as a team that could beat Detroit and a team that could beat New York, but that's not what they are. And it's time to reset around Mobley, get some new pieces in there. But how are you going to move these contracts? That's the problem. Nobody's going to want Mitchell's contract. Definitely nobody's going to want Harden's contract. The Clippers were going to have an impossible time moving it, and you guys saved them.
Yeah, their entire team has hit like a tank. Like none of these guys are going to feel like what they're, or none of these guys are going to be, you're going to feel like they're worth what you'd have to pay for them. So yeah, they're going to have a fun time trying to get out of these contracts. But I don't really have anything else for Detroit, Cleveland.
I don't either. Definitely the least exciting of the 4 series.
At least entertaining, you could say.
Yeah. Now this series has been entertaining for 9 out of the 12 quarters. Or I guess I haven't played game 4 yet.
Yeah.
That would be
soon
right.
To be 9 out of 12. Soon to be 10 out of 12 after the Lakers win.
Yeah, the Lakers just can't close games. They don't have a reliable closer. And Luka probably is that if he's healthy. And that's, like I said, probably your biggest takeaway from the season is, forget the results. Our best player wasn't there, but this has been rough to watch, and Ayton continues to prove why he is one of the, I don't know if, does Ayton qualify as a bust? What does Ayton qualify as? Because he's a producer of, like, he's a productive, for the most part, player when it comes to scoring.
It not only that, but like it also, like, when I think of a bust, I guess I think of somebody who was never good at any point. Like Ayton was good for like the first 2 years of his career, first 3-4 years of his career.
He was really, really close to becoming an NBA champion his third year.
I was about to say, like, it would have been like, what, 2 finals would have been? No, 23 finals. 23. Or,
you're talking about their run against the Bucks?
Yeah, but no, okay, sorry, I said finals, not...
Oh, the 22 series against Dallas.
Okay, and yeah, that is... Talk about a series, dude. Maybe my favorite basketball game I've ever watched, Game 7 of that series. My God.
a very unforgettable moment in time.
Yeah. Yeah, Aiden hasn't been himself since 22 conference final, and he just doesn't look like he enjoys playing basketball anymore. I mean, I think there's literally quotes of him talking about how it's just a paycheck for him pretty much. But yeah, it's awful from a Lakers fan perspective trying to watch it, cuz like somebody will shoot the ball from 3. Aiton's right under the basket. He's watching it with his eyes, and it's like he doesn't even try to go after it. Like there's no haste in that guy at all. More specifically, though, I think you're talking about next season preparations. What the team's trying to do. I think number one is try to find a way to get out of Austin Reeves' contract, because holy shit, that dude has done. Why is Rui Hachimura playing better than Austin Reeves in the playoffs?
Right.
Like
Reeves, like I said, there's two ways to look at the season if you're the Lakers. It's either we had a lot of injuries that piled up at the wrong time. Our best player wasn't there for the last month. Let's just take a deep breath. Let's go into next season healthy. Let's look at where we are around February. And then if you're not where you want to be, then you make the moves. Or you could look at it more a typical Lakers way and be like, okay, this wasn't good. Let's blow it up now.
Yeah.
Like I told you, it all kind of depends on where LeBron goes, whether he comes back, whether he goes to try to get one more ring and he feels like you guys don't give him the best chance to do that. So I feel like they're just kind of going to be waiting for 2 months after the season ends to really start preparing for 26-27, and it'll all start with the LeBron move, because if you're the Lakers, you probably don't feel too confident. And if you're Luka Doncic, why would you want to sign a long-term extension with this team when they have no real plan?
Yeah.
After tomorrow, this is a team that builds for tomorrow. They build for the very next day. They don't think about 3 to 5 years in the future. But when you have a guy like Luka Doncic on your team, your outlook is supposed to be 3 to 5 years in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't think that obviously Luka didn't ask for this trade. I wouldn't want to be on the Lakers personally if I was a star player, especially one of his caliber. I honestly couldn't tell you what this team has in store for the future, but it doesn't feel very bright.
And if you're Luka, what's stopping you from going right back to Dallas in 2028?
That's fair.
Nico's not going to be there anymore, so you won't have anybody to really have your grudge against. He loves that city. He knows that city loves him more than anything. I wouldn't rule it out. We definitely would have never seen anything like it before.
That would be really interesting.
As for the Lakers, I mean, this is dark. This kind of feels like they are headed for another era like they were during the last few years of Kobe's career.
Yeah.
Where it's looking bleak from here on out.
Yeah. The Lakers don't have much going for them in the future.
No.
I mean, they're going to have to realize as an organization that they can't do the typical Lakers, let's grab big stars right now. We're in an era where everybody has to kind of copy and paste the OKC, the Sam Presti method, and just hit a little mini rebuild, try to get as many picks as you can, hope you can hit us on as many of them as you can, and, keep 2 stars while you have this influx of new young contracts that you just have going. I didn't have a whole lot more to say. I was waiting for you to get back, but real quickly, just because we mostly talked about the Lakers there, AJ Mitchell, as I was saying, from the perspective of a Lakers fan, he's just a thorn in my fucking side.
What an incredible snipe by Presti to get this guy.
Yeah, I mean, truly had an insane job. And you know what? I'm gonna extend some flowers to one of my least favorite players in the NBA, but who has somehow been making. I mean, he's being guarded by DeAndre Ayton. It makes sense. Isaiah Hartenstein has been single-handedly in stretches, just destroying us.
Those little 5-foot floaters.
Yes, I never. Oh my god, it's been aggravating me so much because I remember specifically in the Pacers series last year, the finals, this dude would pull 3 of them, miss all 3 of them, airball one maybe.
Yeah.
It was so bad. He could not miss them against us. I've watched him hit 3 in a row. I don't understand.
It's his shot, and he's not good at it. But then now it's magnet ball. But that's what happens when the rim protector is DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah.
So
you
feel
that is
it's like a practice shot.
Yeah, that's very true. You're getting the ball back either way. So who cares?
Doesn't matter. I feel like that's all we had today. We've already started Pistons, Cavs. Let me see. the score is. Ooh, Cavs up 13-5. I'd probably pick Cleveland. Probably pick Cleveland before I saw that to win this game. And then I'm conflicted on the second game. I feel like we're going to see LeBron empty the clip tonight. He's either going to shoot 3 of 21 for 14 points, or he's going 10, 19 for 34.
Shit, I would do anything to see a LeBron masterclass.
I think LeBron doesn't want to be swept, and that's something that's always on his mind. So I'll go Lakers tonight. I think they'll put it all on the line.
I don't know if I can say Lakers you know what? I have to. It's my team.
You got to.
I'll go with the Lakers. And I did predict, that they'd get one game. That was also when I thought Luka could potentially be back. That's one thing that's pissed me off is I feel like the timeline through all of this has been very unclear. Like I've been constantly seeing posts. They're like, oh, Luka coming back, Luka starting conditioning, Luka, like all these things that are making it sound like, oh, he'll be back soon. And then no. Like I remember seeing something, maybe it's just a shit post, but I remember seeing something like before during the Rocket series that was like Luka Doncic expected to make his return game 4 of Lakers versus OKC. And then we get here and it like you're the one who told me to look at that interview the other day where he basically says like it's pretty much not going to be back till finals time.
Right. And so he could have just said season's over at that point.
I won't be back this season.
Why waste your breath? I mean, come on.
Oh my God. I mean, he's got to do it for the team, I guess.
Yeah, for team morale. But I think that's all for us. So thank you guys for listening and watching, and we'll be back with another episode on Wednesday.
Let's go.